Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Carter Oversteps invites Ivy and Electra to pitch a jewelry line. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, may be taking his attraction to Hope Logan, Annika Noel, a bit too far. It seems that Carter is so determined to save Hope and her line that he is writing checks that he simply cannot cash. Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Massinswood, will clash over Carter's invite for Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, and Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, to pitch a jewelry line without running it by her first. How will Steffi react? Carter is the COO of Forrester Creations and is usually very cautious when it comes to throwing money away. However, his recommendation to keep pouring money into Hope for the future seems to be a bit outlandish. The line is not making enough money to keep sinking more into it. Steffi believes it is time to pull the plug. Carter, however, is extremely hung up on Hope right now and feels he is in a position to help her. Unfortunately, Carter does not own the company and doesn't have final say. Now Carter has invited Eric Forrester's, John McCook, niece to pitch a jewelry line, which used to be Quinn Fuller, ex-Rena Sofer job. Steffi cannot believe he didn't consult her about this first. The last time Ivy was in town, she made it clear to Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, that she wanted him back. At the time, Liam had been trying to break up Steffi and John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin. Steffi doesn't want Ivy anywhere near Liam and told him as much. Of course, that didn't stop her from planting a kiss on him and telling him she wanted another chance. Steffi isn't exactly making good business decisions, either if Ivy and work with them and Quinn is out of the picture. Is Steffi allowing her jealousy to cloud her judgment? Does Steffi just want Liam waiting in the sidelines just in case she and Finn have another issue and she needs someone around to coddle her? Even Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., is becoming concerned about Carter's desire to keep putting money into Hope's line, and now he does this. What is Carter even thinking? Carter knows that he cannot be making deals like this without going through him and Steffi. After all, Carter is the CEO. This simply is not his call. Steffi and Carter will definitely have words over this. Will Ridge step in and offer his perspective too? Is Carter letting this job go to his head, or does he believe he can run the company better than what Ridge and Steffi are doing? Is Ridge going to allow Carter to get by with being so disrespectful of himself and Steffi? Carter Walton had always been the go-to guy at Forrester Creations. His suave professionalism and legal acumen kept the family business on steady ground for years. However, lately Carter's role had evolved beyond legal contracts and boardroom meetings. Since his breakup with Quinn, he'd thrown himself deeper into the fashion house, eager to leave his mark on more than just legalese. But his latest move was about to shake things up in ways no one expected. Sitting in his office, Carter shuffled through a collection of sketches that Ivy Forrester had sent him. Jewelry was Ivy's forte, and she'd been a rising star back when she worked at Forrester Creations. Her designs were elegant yet edgy, a perfect fit for the high fashion world the Forresters inhabited. Carter had always admired her work, but when she left Los Angeles to pursue other ventures, the creative void she left was palpable. Now Ivy was back in town, and with her came an unexpected proposal that could reignite her career at Forrester. But Carter's instincts told him that something was still missing, something that would give Ivy's designs an irresistible edge, something that would dazzle the press and wow the Forrester board. He knew just the person to bring into the mix: Electra Dane, a daring, avant-garde designer who was relatively unknown, but had been making waves on the international scene. Electra's pieces weren't for the faint-hearted. They were bold, unconventional, and sometimes downright controversial, but they could give Forrester Creations the shock of creativity it needed. The idea came to Carter like a flash of lightning, and without much thought, he extended an invitation to both Ivy and Electra to pitch their jewelry lines to Forrester. It was a risky move, but he was ready to push boundaries. What Carter hadn't anticipated was the reaction from the higher-ups, especially Ridge and Steffi. The Forrester family didn't like surprises when it came to their business, and Carter knew that involving two strong personalities like Ivy and Electra could potentially blow up in his face. But something deep inside him, a mixture of ambition and desire to make up for past mistakes, kept pushing him forward. The day of the pitch arrived. Carter stood in the Forrester boardroom, a ball of nerves wrapped in a confident smile. He greeted Ivy warmly as she walked in, her trademark understated elegance evident in a sleek black dress paired with one of her signature gold cuffs. "It's great to see you, Ivy. You've been missed around here," Carter said, trying to gauge her mood. Ivy smiled, but there was a tension in her posture, one that Carter couldn't quite read. "Thanks, Carter. I hope this will be a step in the right direction," Ivy replied, her Australian accent as smooth as ever. Not long after, Electra stormed into the room like a gust of wind, wearing a bold leather jacket adorned with chains and spikes. Her platinum blonde hair was styled in a jagged bob, and her face radiated confidence mixed with a touch of rebellion. "So this is Forrester Creations," she said, looking around the room with a raised eyebrow. "Let's see if this place can handle me." Carter chuckled nervously, feeling the weight of the risk he'd taken in bringing these two powerful women into the same room. Their styles couldn't be more different, but if they could find a way to collaborate, it could be a game changer for Forrester Creations. As Ivy began her presentation, laying out her vision for a new collection called Modern Classics, everyone in the room was captivated by her clean lines and sophisticated designs. She had always had an eye for timeless beauty, and her pieces shimmered with understated glamour. It was clear Ivy had come prepared, hoping to prove that her return to Forrester could mean more than just nostalgia. It could mean a true revival of her career in fashion. Carter glanced over at Electra, who was sitting back in her chair, her expression unreadable. When it was Electra's turn, she sauntered to the front of the room and placed a black velvet case on the table. With a dramatic flair, she opened it to reveal a series of rings and necklaces that looked more like pieces of modern art than wearable jewelry. Jagged edges, metallic textures, and bold colors collided in ways that almost seemed chaotic, but there was an undeniable beauty in the chaos. "This collection is called Electric Ecstasy," Electra said, her voice sharp with excitement. "It's not for the faint of heart, but neither is fashion. It's time Forrester took some risks, don't you think?" The room fell silent. Ridge and Steffi exchanged wary glances, clearly unsure of how to react. Ivy, too, looked uneasy, her classic designs a stark contrast to Electra's avant-garde creations. Carter, however, couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement. This was exactly the kind of shakeup he'd been hoping for. But had he overstepped by bringing Electra into the fold without first running it by the Forresters? Ridge was the first to speak. "Carter, I respect that you're trying to push us in a new direction, but this is a lot. Forrester Creations has always been about elegance, tradition, and class. I'm not sure if Electra's vision aligns with ours." Electra crossed her arms, her lips curving into a smirk. "Elegance is overrated. People want something new, something they've never seen before. You stick with tradition, you get left behind." Steffi leaned forward, her expression thoughtful. "I see potential here, but merging Ivy's classic style with Electra's bold approach, it's risky. The question is, can we make it work without losing the essence of Forrester Creations?" Carter felt the weight of the room's tension settle squarely on his shoulders. He had to convince them that this collaboration could elevate Forrester Creations to new heights. "Look, I know this is different," he began, his voice steady but passionate. "But that's exactly why it's so important. Forrester has always been a leader in fashion. We don't follow trends, we set them. Imagine the headlines. Forrester Creations breaks boundaries, merges classic elegance with cutting-edge design. This could be the future of fashion. There was a pause as the Foresters digested his words. Finally, Ridge spoke, his tone measured. "We'll need time to think about this. Carter, you've definitely stirred the pot. Let's just hope it's worth it." As the meeting wrapped up, Carter couldn't help but feel a mix of exhilaration and trepidation. He had taken a massive gamble, and now all he could do was wait to see if it would pay off, or if he just made the biggest mistake of his career.